Collage was painting that screams with energy and bristles with the movement of the city. This is New York in 1950, and de Kooning is an artist at work. In this painting, you see every element of de Kooning's thought process, him really working through new ideas, a new language of vocabulary. A painting like this comes to the market once in a generation. This is a painting that marks an entire shift in the way that the world thought and the way artists considered the picture plane. We could not be more excited to be presenting Collage to the market for the very first time. This painting has remained in David Sollinger's collection for more than 7 decades, from the very first day that Sollinger bought this in 1952 from Sidney Janis Gallery. Collage represents not only the vision and foresight of one collector to recognize the brilliance of de Kooning at this period in the early 50s, but more so represents the trailblazing achievements of the abstract expressionists, who at this period in 1950 shifted the center of the art world from Europe to New York. Collage was painted at a pivotal moment in de Kooning's career. In 1948, de Kooning has his first major solo exhibition with Charles Egan Gallery in New York, and that debuts his formative black and white abstractions to the world for the first time. Upon de Kooning's return to New York in the fall of '48, he embarks on 2 pivotal series of works, his second series of women paintings, and an important group of color abstractions, reintroducing color into his lyrical, gestural abstractions for the very first time. It's in this select body of works, painted from '48 to '50, that de Kooning expanded upon his abstract vocabulary and introduced the style that would define his work for decades to come. It's in these paintings that de Kooning fights back against this idea of action painting coined by Harold Rosenberg. These are not instantaneous, instinctive, gestural compositions. These are hard-fought abstractions, built through layers of interlocking abstract shapes and compositions that de Kooning would pore over and fight for to really maintain the sweeping dynamism and incredible balance and harmony that you see within the parameters of collage. It's through layering and interlocking zones of color and sheets of paper, bringing them together with things like glue and silver thumbtacks, and then painting over and underneath these layers, that de Kooning would achieve the harmony and incredible balance that these paintings from the late 40s and early 50s convey. It's through the present painting that de Kooning really lays bare his process. We see the silver thumbtacks left in the composition as an incredible relic of his investigation into the forms. The incredible edges and contours of every sheet of paper interlocking with one another, and of course the final sweeps of black ink that seem to trace the contours and the lyrical abstraction that brings the entire picture to the fore. There's not only an incredible dynamism and intensity to this painting, but there's a vibrancy and range of color that is truly gripping. From the bright yellows, cyans, pinks, blacks, whites, de Kooning uses every color and gesture in his arsenal. It's in collage that we see an artist at the precipice of that very creation. And amazingly, 70 years later, it still vibrates with the same intensity and energy that it had when de Kooning painted it.